Okay, picture this. You're standing in a huge open field in England, and right there, against the sky, is this ring of giant, silent stones. This, of course, is Stonehenge, an icon of ancient mystery that has absolutely fascinated us for centuries. And these stones, they ask us the three big questions that have just echoed through time, right? Who on earth had the vision to build this thing? How in the world did they pull off such an incredible feat of engineering? And maybe the most important question of all, why? So let's dive into that mystery. First up, let's tackle the endearing puzzle. Because to even begin to get your head around Stonehenge, you have to appreciate its sheer scale and, frankly, its mind-boggling age. To put this into perspective for you, get this. We often think of the Great Pyramids in Egypt as, the dawn of massive construction projects. But Stonehenge, it's even older. It's this silent witness to a civilization that came way before most of what we even consider ancient history. So, who were these builders? Well, our first major clue isn't found in a single person or a single moment. It's actually spread across a vast stretch of time. This was not a quick job. The very first bits and pieces, we're talking earthworks and wooden posts, they appeared way back around 3000 BCE. But the iconic giant stones that we all recognize today, they wouldn't even show up for another 500 years. And construction kept going in different phases for centuries after that. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. 1,500 years. This wasn't the work of one powerful king or a single generation. No, this was a sacred project, passed down through countless lifetimes. It was a promise that was kept across centuries. You gotta ask yourself what kind of society has the vision and the stability to commit to one single goal for that long. So, what this means is that there wasn't a single group of builders. Instead, it was this long succession of Britain's prehistoric peoples. We're talking communities of farmers who knew the land inside and out, skilled craftsmen who could shape earth and stone, and, you guessed it, brilliant astronomers who could read the patterns of the sky. So that kind of answers the who, but it makes the how even more incredible. I mean, how did these ancient people with absolutely no modern technology achieve this engineering marvel? Let's start with the smaller blue stones. They were actually quarried and then transported from over 250 kilometers away in Wales. That's just an astonishing journey over rugged land and probably some treacherous waters.
And then you have the colossal sarsen stones. Each one weighs up to 25 tons. To put that in perspective, that's like 4 or 5 large elephants. Just try to imagine the sheer teamwork it would take to move even one of those an inch.
And what tools did they have to do it? No cranes, no engines, nothing like that. They were relying on things like boats, wooden logs used as rollers, massive teams of oxen, and huge sledges. It must have been this brutal, painstaking process that demanded immense manpower and an incredible sense of community. And really, this is what it all boils down to. No wheels for transport, no hard metal tools for carving, at least not in the early days. The entire monument was built with sheer human strength, incredible social organization, and just breathtaking imagination. So we have a sense of the who and the how, but that leads us to the biggest question of all. Why? Why pour centuries of effort into this one single spot? Well, our biggest clue isn't actually on the ground, it's written in the sky. And right here is where the absolute genius of the monument lies. On the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, the rising sun lines up perfectly with the main axis of the stones. And then, on the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, the setting sun does the exact same thing. This kind of precision is absolutely no accident. What this means is that, essentially, Stonehenge was a highly sophisticated astronomical calendar. It was a vital tool that told people when to plant their crops, when to harvest, and when to hold their important community rituals. It was a way of bringing cosmic order down to their world by marking the passage of time.
But just a calendar, that doesn't seem to explain the sheer scale and the sacred feeling of the place, which leads us to the final and maybe the most compelling part of this whole puzzle. What was its ultimate purpose?
Archaeological evidence points to so many different layers of meaning. Cremated human remains suggest it was a burial ground, probably for elite families or leaders. Some theories even propose it was a place of healing, a pilgrimage site for the sick from all over Britain. And yeah, beyond a simple calendar, it was an advanced observatory, and almost certainly a temple, a secret place to connect with the cycles of the sun and the moon.
And you know what? Maybe that's the real answer. It wasn't just one thing. It was likely the center of their world. A cathedral, a cemetery, a hospital, and a clock, all rolled into one incredible monument that served the physical and the spiritual needs of an entire culture for generation after generation. In the end, we can't know for certain. And that is what gives Stonehenge its enduring power. It stands not just as a monument to its builders' amazing ingenuity, but as a monument to mystery itself, asking all of us to just look up at the sky and wonder.